Kids and cadets, welcome back to Tommy Time. Working on this 2015 yard machine, 21-inch cut. I got this in a group of 4 for $40. So we're looking at a lovely $10 machine. Somebody's named it the Mangler. So this thing had numerous issues. I'm going through it one step at a time. We had discovered one of the rear wheels here was binding up and not budging at all, and I went to remove the wheel, and we'll talk about that right now, what I found out and what I did and didn't do. So these wheels have a steel bushing, which is just pressed into the plastic. It doesn't go all the way through. It stops maybe 5 millimeters before the outside of the wheel. So oftentimes, if you've had a well-abused machine, water gets into this metal, and as you can see, the axle here is metal. You'll have a large amount of rust that'll form here, and it actually will bind itself to the axle. So when you go to remove it, what happens is the plastic gives way and the plastic wheel actually pulls off, as it did here in the rear wheel. That bushing ended up staying on the axle, and you have a inner hub here with no metal bushing. So oftentimes when that happens, I just put some penetrant oil on it, let it sit for a while, then grab a pair of vice grips, clamp down on that bushing, and then slowly rock it back and forth, and then pull it off of the axle. In this case here, it was so rusted to the axle I could not remove it. I ended up cracking the inner bushing here with the vice grips. So this is the remainder of the bushing. You can see the teeth which bind against the inner plastic. So this thing grabs the plastic wheel. So there's a solution for this if you end up breaking the bushing or destroying the bushing. You can make yourself your own bushing out of a piece of copper tubing. That tubing is 5/8 OD copper tubing, 5/8 outer diameter OD. You can buy this at Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware, any of your hardware stores. If you keep a sharp eye out on the side of the road, people do remodeling jobs, throw the copper pipe right out at the street. You can snatch up your own piece or pieces of copper tubing, 5/8 diameter. So I got a 5-year supply of tubing here. So there's 2 ways of doing it. What I did is took a piece of the bushing and just made a mark on the copper tubing and cut a piece of tubing off. You can actually stick the tubing into the wheel, make a mark where you need to cut it, pull it back out and make your cut. So you can either use a tubing cutter, which I have here, make your mark and cut your piece off, you can use a hacksaw, sawzall, whatever you need to do to cut your tubing. I use this small handheld tubing cutter. You can use a hacksaw. It doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to be close to that size. As far as the length, a little short or a little bit long isn't going to make that much of a difference. Once you got your piece cut, it'll fit perfectly into your wheel. And so that you just grease up your axle here with axle grease. Just put it on as you normally would. You got your new brass bushing in here, which will outlast the machine by many years. This will not give out before the machine craps out. These are 9/16 nuts, open end wrench or socket, whatever you need to do to remove the nut. So cheap fix. You can buy this at Home Depot, Ace, like I said, or Lowe's. They'll sell it in like 2 feet, 4 feet, 8 feet sections. If you don't see any on the side of the road, you can get yourself a 2-foot piece, and that'll last you a lifetime. You hardly ever run across this where it breaks, but sometimes it does, and you need a solution to rectify it. Perfect size, the 5/8 is what you need to do the job. Just a quick hack. I've rectified a few of these like this, but most of the time I can use some penetrating oil and work them back and forth. Didn't work out that way. This was a severely rusted unit to begin with, so not surprised it this failed me. You guys have a great day today. Appreciate you coming out, checking out this quick 5/8 OD outside diameter copper pipe hack for these wheels that have the metal bushings. Come back and see me tip your waitress and waitstaff. They deserve a generous tip. Have a good day.